Alright, Shalom. First, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shai, Hashem Chakudash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. This is an article that I came across. Okay, it says January 15th, 2019. Alright, it says 30,000 Los Angeles teachers go on strike over pay. Alright, it said the second largest school district in the U.S. was paralyzed as 30,000 Los Angeles, California teachers went on strike for the first time in 30 years, demanding a pay raise. Some 480,000 children were affected. Now, what perfect timing, right? In the midst of a partial government shutdown, you have this going on. Okay, it says, and let me say this, man. This shutdown, all right, is gonna be it, man. And the thing about it is that it's only getting worse and worse and worse as time progresses. Okay, the squeeze is coming down and it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. Okay, and people are gonna get to the point where they can't take it anymore. Okay, when they don't see any hope in sight and they start taking matters into their own hands. Okay, that's what's America's facing, man. A civil war, race wars, uproars. Because we're in that time. Okay, so it says thousands of teachers and union activists wearing red marched down the streets in LA in rainy weather on Monday, demanding from the district and the state to raise their pay by 6.5% immediately to fully staffed schools with librarians, nurses, counselors, and other support personnel, and to reduce class sizes. The union also wants guarantees that public school funding won't be affected by privatization. Now, you see what's going on in Paris with the yellow vest protesters, and now you got these teachers protesting wearing red. Okay, it's what I mean. It's uproars amongst the people all over the world. And I have another article here. All right, about people uproaring in Zimbabwe. All right, it says Zimbabwe on brink of meltdown, protests and riots as country runs out of fuel. See? So I'll get that afterwards. But hey, man, things are happening upon the earth, man. The Lord is definitely bringing that judgment. Okay, look at this. Look at this. So it says, here we are on a rainy day in the richest country in the world, in the richest state in the country, in a state that's blue as it can be, and in a city rife with millionaires where teachers have to go on strike to get the basics for our students, said Alex Caputo Pearl, president of United Teachers Los Angeles. It says today is the beginning of a new day for our students. We are on strike because our students in our classrooms cannot wait any longer. We cannot continue on without the nurses, counselors, and librarians our students need. So we'll see where this leads to. It says the protest, and this might just spark other protests, for even other things. All right. It says the protest drew sympathy and support from Democratic politicians in the state legislature, Hollywood writers Black Lives Matter, and even from Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. All right. It says, while the Los Angeles protest looks and feels much like the teacher strike in Oklahoma, Kentucky, West Virginia, and Arizona last April, there is one major difference. Unlike those states seen as important battlegrounds in the 2018 midterms, California is overwhelmingly Democrat. The Los Angeles Unified School District is the second largest in the U.S. by the number of students, after New York City. In the 2017-2018 school year, it had a budget of $7.52 billion and employed 26,046 teachers and 34,194 other employees, including 2,465 administrators. And then it goes on. Basically. Okay, it says the impasse is this. Oh, look at that! Look at that. Governor Gavin Newsom was not happy about the strike, urging both the union and school districts to make a deal. This impasse is disrupting the lives of too many kids and their families. Newsom said on Monday, I strongly urge all parties to go back to the negotiating table and find an immediate path forward that puts kids back into classrooms and provides parents certainty. All right, because where are their kids going to be if not in the classrooms? They're going to be running around, all right, out in the streets about doing wickedness. Okay. It says Newsroom added that he has proposed a state budget that includes the largest ever investment in the LAUSD, which would pay down bills and school district pension debt. All right. So you have this going on here, and then you have this. All right. Zimbabwe on the brink of meltdown, protests and riots as country runs out of fuel. I'll read just a little bit of it. It says protesters barricaded roads and burnt tires in a suburb of Zimbabwe's capital, Harare, 2 days after President Emerson Mnangagwa announced a massive fuel price hike in an effort to stem a deepening economic crisis. And this is not the only country going through this, man. That economic crisis is hitting many countries, man. Why? Because there's going to be a global economic collapse, which is going to usher in the microchip, man, as the solution. That's why it says the chip is going to try the whole world, the hour of temptation. It says cash shortages have plunged Zimbabwe's economy into disarray, threatening widespread social unrest and undermining Mnangagwa's efforts to win back foreign investors sidelined under his predecessor Robert Mugabe. Okay, it says uh, Ngagwa's announcement of a 150% increase in fuel prices was greeted with shock in Zimbabwe, where unemployment is over 80%. Get ready to start seeing that here in the US. It says the government sets fuel prices via the Zimbabwe Energy Regulator Agency. Residents of Epworth, 22 miles south of the capital, protested after the main labor federation called for a 3-day strike starting on Monday in response to the price increase. The main roads to town have been barricaded with rocks, and there is no public transportation carrying people. Fabian Makona, a 27-year-old Epworth resident, said. Police fired tear gas to disperse the youth protesting outside the High Court of Zimbabwe's second city, Bulawayo, according to video footage from Center for Innovation and Technology, a news local service. So, showing you, man, that these things are going on all around the world, man. Okay, and it's not good, man. Everywhere around the world, it's just getting worse and worse and worse because this is the end of Esau's reign, the end of Esau's rule, man. The world is about to be a completely different place very soon, but first it needs to be destroyed. And the Most High is going to bring down all these different infrastructures, these economies. All of that is going to come down, man. All right, but I get this quick precept. This is Second Esdras chapter 9, verse 3, because this is biblical prophecy. Okay, I'll start at verse 1. It says, let me read it from here. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, which is what we're doing. Constantly watching the news, watching what's going on around the world, measuring it and comparing it to the scriptures. And when thou seest part of the signs past, what signs? The signs that the prophets wrote about, the Lord prophesied about, things written in the scriptures. Okay, how are we gonna see part of the signs past? By reading the scriptures and filtering what's going on in the world through the scriptures, because it's prophecy, which I have told thee before. See, Romans 15:4, what was written aforetime, meaning in the past, was written for our learning. Today, thou shalt then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes, which we're seeing a lot of those, and uproars of the people in the world. Okay, you see what's going on here in Zimbabwe. You see what's going on in Paris. You got protests in Los Angeles with teachers going on strike. Okay, things are happening, man. So it says, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. And this same thing is what we're doing right now. Okay, we understand this because we read these things before they're happening. Okay, and I ended with this: for like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, the end is manifest. All right. Matter of fact, verse 6. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonder and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs. And that's what we're seeing. Okay. And as prophets, what? We're prophesying, warning our people, and giving the message, man. Okay. So this is just another update, man. And we're just going to see what happens as we go into February when things are really going to heat up. Okay. Things are really going to heat up, man. So we'll see what the Lord got in store for this place, man. But hey, the forecast for America is just destruction, man. Okay, so prepare for that. All right, Lowland, this is edifying to the elect. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Chakwadash. Until next time, Shalom.